This is Ashton Marcus, and I'm on location at the La Mirada Theater for the Performing Arts for Green Day's American Idiot.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. I'm here with
Sean Garner. I did this show on the road, actually, American Idiot. I did it on tour. I live in New York right now, but I'm from California, so I've done some theater out here. Been living in New York for like 4.5 years. Did this tour and got the opportunity to talk to these people about doing this show, and it's been awesome. It's been a blast. I played Johnny. He's just like, he's kind of your everyman. He's like your everyman suburban kid, sort of stuck in this post 9/11 world that he just sort of feels trapped, and like there must be more to life. And the whole show is just sort of his journey of finding what else is out there. And yeah, I think I don't know if he gets all the answers, but he gets some of them.
If one of my viewers decide to come by here and see this, what should they expect to see?
They should expect to see something that that they're not used to, not your typical theater experience. And if they come with an open mind, I think that they can really get a lot out of it.
I look at this as a rock opera.
It is. It totally is. It totally is. It's right up there with Rent, and it's, it has a story. It definitely has a story, but there's not much dialogue. It's like music straight through, and it's like getting shot out of a cannon. It's a blast. It's a blast.
Once again, I love your performance. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. I'm here with
Patrick Riley. I just graduated from USC, the BFA in 2015, and I have been training my whole life. And I did We Are the Tigers at the Hudson Theater a few months ago, and I was the understudy for Clark, who's one of the only boy in the show, actually. I'm going to New York after this, not like permanently, just to kind of get my feet wet. I played Tunney. I think he's the guy who kind of sees it before anybody else, to be honest with you. He is basically the person who's like, what the fuck are we doing here? Like, this is bullshit. And I think he inspires the other two to be like, yo, we need to do something. We need to get out of here. This is just, not that suburban lifestyle is bad, it's just not what someone at 18 to 23 wants, And I think that he sees things before anybody else, but he sees really far into it and ends up going into something that he probably shouldn't have, but he really believes in it. And I think after he gets into it, he realizes that he loves it. The Army. Yeah.
Well, I loved your performance. I've actually seen American Idiot before in Doma at the Met. I actually covered that show. You guys actually did it a different way. It almost as if the cast was a little younger, maybe more in the moment. At least your character.
Oh, good. I'm glad you think that. I hope to bring that to every performance.
So what's your take on this?
I think it's sort of, we had a long conversation with our director last night about how, it can be taken kind of any way that you want it to. It's a story for anybody, and I think anybody can take away what they want. That's why I actually really love the show, because yes, it is a rock opera, which is like the most basic way of describing what it is, but I think that for us, I think what we're all dealing with in this show is just the phrase, like, this cannot be it. Like, this can't be it. Like, there has to be more. Like, especially as a young person, you get so caught up in, like, how is this actually what life is? Is this actually what we're dealing with? And I gotta get out. I gotta try things. I gotta see new things. I gotta meet new people. I gotta sort of like find out who I am and really what the truth of myself is. And so I think that's kind of what I think the show is about, is seeing what you have and wanting more and going after it.
Once again, I love your performance. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Ian Brennenstuhl. I moved to Los Angeles about 3 months ago. I've been a San Diego local all my life, and I went off to the University of Miami to study theater, and I've been doing theater since I was 8 years old. And I just got the audition for this show, and now I'm here, man. I'm loving every second of it. So I played Will. Will is just that kind of guy. A lot of people can relate with him. He's that friend that stays at home and doesn't do anything with his life and wants desperately to get out, but doesn't have the drive or the motivation to really push himself to do it. And so I feel like the audience really can relate to Will because he's that kind of person that's just stuck in his own sort of mind and can't get out of his own head, you know? And so I really feel like he's a relatable character, just as the Green Day music is very relatable, and so I'm trying to play him like that, and I'm having a great time doing it.
Yeah, I really respect theater and musicals like this because they have characters in which they're not heroes. It's like you're playing a guy who's kind of like, you know, a couch potato. It's still so realistic of a character.
So true, exactly. And yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. You know, this character, that's why this kind of musical theater is becoming so popular now, because these characters are real. They're not some Disney-fied, beautified version of life. There are people out there that are like Will, and I'm trying to embody that in every performance and make people see, wow, this can happen to people, and this is real.
I love your performance. I love the performance of the entire ensemble. You guys put so much into the moment and so much focus.
Oh, exactly, man. I'm living every moment through the lyrics of the song. I'm living the angst and the anger and everything that's coming through these songs, because I grew up listening to this music. You know, this music makes me feel that way. And so I know exactly how these characters are feeling, what they're going through, and I try to live through that with my body and through my lyrics and what I'm saying. So I'm glad that you enjoyed it so much.
Yeah, once again, I love your performance. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you so much. Have a great night.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marks. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. I'm here with
AJ Mendoza. I'm 26 years old, be 27 in June. I live in Upland, California. I'm St. Jimmy here in La Mirada, in American Idiot. We just opened tonight. It's awesome. St. Jimmy is awesome. He's a rock star. He's scary. He's a little bit sexy. I'm a big 80s rock cat. I studied a lot of VH1 classic in my day, so I see like the embodiment of all of my favorite frontmen from the late 80s. You take a little bit of Alice Cooper, you take a little bit of David Bowie, right? With this ethereal, I love him. He's not really ever there. He's everything that we all wish we could get away with every weekend and can't quite. So it's awesome. I dig St. Jimmy. I do.
I actually saw the presentation of American Idiot at Doma. They played St. Jimmy differently. They played him almost like an embodiment of Satan. He was just like almost a little over the top.
A little demonic. St. Jimmy is kind of demonic, right? He's like if you had to pick between the angel and the devil, Jimmy would be the devil to an extent, right?
Yeah. But his was more over the top. Yours was a lot darker because it's like now you're making me into a real person, and it's like the other guys was just a comedy character. So yours was really dark. I have to say it struck me a little more shocking.
I'll take shocking, right? I mean, that was impact is good in one way or another, right? Yeah, I appreciate that, bro. I do. Yeah.
No, I meant that as it kind of creeped me out a bit.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. People love St. Jimmy. I love St. Jimmy. He's fun, but he's a little creepy. So, like, I feel somewhat accomplished if I did that. That's cool. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, what's your take on American Idiot, anyway?
I love American Idiot. I'm a rock opera dude. It's really powerful, right? It was released 11 years ago now, but it's still super relevant today to any age that can relate to it. I love it. We got a lot of madness going on right now in general. I won't voice my opinion. I won't cite it all, but I think almost anyone can find something to cling on to American Idiot even today. And the music is rocking. It's dope. I love it. I love it.
Okay, well, once again, I love the performance. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Ashley Loren. I'm from New York. I came out here. I started in musical theater when I was a kid. I've done the Broadway thing. I was actually here at La Mirada doing the Jekyll and Hyde revival. We started out here, the tour, and we ended up on Broadway. I also do the pop music thing, so I've been on tour with Carly Rae Jepsen as a backup singer, and I came out to LA to record and do some stuff, and I saw this show. The audition came up, and I was like, I have to do this show. So thankfully, I'm super grateful I was able to book the show. Extraordinary Girl, an amazing role to play. Super cool, super slinky, and it's been an amazing ride. I love it, every minute of it.
I love your performance. I thought it was fantastic.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, because basically you did more than just sing the song. And again, the character doesn't have that many lines in it. I don't think she has any lines. So
No, we don't. There's very little book to this show. All singing and all sort of storytelling through the song and through the dance and all that stuff.
But you guys lived for the moment in the song. It was like it was like when you did it, you were just basically focused on that song. It was almost like that was your whole life.
Thank you. I mean, it has to be. We have Brian, who's our amazing director, who's really, really good at getting us to feel and connect and do all the right things. So thanks to him for helping us, along that process for sure.
Once again, I love your performance. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you so much. Have a great night.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. I'm here with
Jordan Kai Burnett. I'm a musician and comedian and actor in Los Angeles from New York City, and I am the executive producer of Penelope PCSA, the web series, and I am starring right now as What's Her Name in American Idiot at La Mirada Theater. I think What's Her Name is she encompasses sort of every woman, every girl that ever lived in a city that had a romantic affair with the city she lived in. She happens to be also a girl dealing with all the same stuff that women deal with every day. How do I make the next move that's best for me? How do I feel loved? How do I love myself? All those things.
So what's your take on American Green Day? Is it just about sex, drugs, and rock and roll?
Absolutely not. It is about sex, drugs, and rock and roll because those are very important, but it's also about how do you make the best of this life? How do you get all the best things out of this life?
I love your performance. I thought it was fantastic.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Yeah. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. And I'm here with
I'm Ellie Wyman. I'm 22 and I graduated from Cal State Fullerton last May with a BFA in musical theater. And this is my first show with La Mirada and I'm having a great time. I play Heather. She's really interesting because she's the only girl in the show that has a name and her name is never said by any character. And I think, there's a lot of imagery with names and stuff in the show and I think it kind of puts her apart from everyone and she kind of is. She's kind of the most mature one of the group and she has real life issues to deal with her pregnancy and her kid and all that.
What's your take on American Idiot? Is it just about sex, drugs, and rock and roll?
Absolutely not. No, it's definitely about that. But I think it's more about, I don't know, it's searching for something more in life. And it's feeling stuck and feeling like you don't have a connection to anyone else and recognizing that everyone feels that way and finding a way to overcome it.
Yeah, American Idiot is one of my favorite rock operas.
Really? Me too. It's great. I didn't know much about it before I was in the show, but it's amazing. Yeah.
Well, I thought you guys were fantastic. You guys really lived in the moment. Even your character, because your character wasn't like a rock, wasn't really like, living in the moment. It was like full of responsibility. You were like the adult of the group.
Exactly. Yeah. She has a lot of real stuff that she has to kind of grow up really fast. And yeah.
Yeah, well, I love your performance. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Of course. Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. I'm here with...
Hi, this is Alexander Garland. I was young Simba in The Lion King, danced for Janet Jackson, Kristen Chenoweth, a lot of different artists in the Hollywood area. I played Favorite Son in Ensemble.
What's your take on Favorite Son?
I think it's supposed to be an all-American number, show what the brands for all America are supposed to be about, and then in the following number kind of break down what war is and the reality of it.
I love the way the ensemble played this. Everyone focused on it like this was their play. I mean, even if you didn't have any lines, and you're just part of the chorus.
Yeah, people definitely made it their own. Everybody, Brian Kite, an amazing director, made sure that we made it our own. Every single one of us individually. So it shows. I'm glad it does. American Idiot is not just about sex, drugs, and rock and roll, even though that is a big part, It's just about, unplugging from the media and the craziness that we can kind of get into of the zombie land, kind of, and just seeing what's around you, experiencing life on a different level.
Well, again, I loved your performance. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. I'm here with
Adriana Rose Lyons. I've worked all around the Los Angeles area, a little bit in Las Vegas, and this is my first experience with La Mirada, and it's great. I'm loving it. I am in the female ensemble. I do a featured featured female ensemble. I sing Too Much Too Soon, which is great, and I'm having the time of my life.
I love the work of the ensemble. You guys all focused in. It was like every person put so much effort into every single song, every single moment.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. And it's really hard not to do that with a show like this, where it's so relevant to what's happening right now in the news. And this album was like so popular when I was in high school. So it's just very, very personal. It has such an important message, and we just want the audience to really, really get it.
What's your take on American Idiot? Is it just sex, drugs, and rock and roll?
There is an aspect of the sex, drugs, and rock and roll, but there's such heart to this show that can get lost sometimes because people think of American Idiot, they think of Green Day, they think it's just young kids rocking out. But we have a message, we have such important things to say, and this show is such a perfect image and a piece of art that just shows exactly all those things, all that struggle that young kids go through, that even adults go through. I think it's very, very relatable to everybody if you're open and willing to see it.
Well, I love your performance. I love the performance of the entire ensemble. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. And I'm here with...
My name is Dylan Hoffinger, ensemble and dance captain for American Idiot, La Mirada Theater for Performing Arts. I'm based in San Diego, but I live out here now, about to move to New York. Recently, I did Musical Theater West Side Story. I played Baby John. That was my Los Angeles theater debut. Other theater shows I've done, I did Harmony, Kansas at Diversionary Theater, as well as Anita Bryant Died for Your Sins. I've done Cats at San Diego Musical Theater. I was Mr. Mistopheles. My take on this musical, it's about people who are lost, who in this new millennial generation are looking for something more than what is just given to them in the very moment of being in like high school and having these different relationships. Is this it? Like we say it like, is this all there is? Like, and it's a really true statement. Our director Brian says it all the time. It's so true that we have to like reach into one another and go to different places and finally realize that maybe what we have and what we already have is enough, and the love that's surrounding us at the moment we just take for granted and we don't realize at the very moment it's in front of us, you know?
I love the performance. I actually like the work of the ensemble and your work as the dance captain. It just added all the little details of a guy who's just gonna not say a word, just sitting in the court, but really acting the song with their body and their face. I just loved it.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we each have to find our own connections to these characters and how we relate to them, or are we an extension of these people, you know? Are we, you know, St. Jimmy's disciples? Are we feeling, you know, what St. Jimmy is feeling against Jimmy, or are we consoling with Jimmy, and are we feeling for what's-her-name and her rage and her frustration and what's going on with her and her relationship with her? Discovering those things throughout this process was a real pleasure because you felt like you were a real person versus just this extra person making the picture look good.
Once again, love the performance, love the dancing. Thank you very much for being on the show.
It's a pleasure to talk to you.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with...
Billy Kometz. I am from Hershey, Pennsylvania. Did a lot of work musical theater-wise in Philadelphia for about 5 years. Did a year and a half in New York, and I got Aladdin, a musical spectacular, while I was there, and that brought me to California. So I've been here for about a year. I did Aladdin for the past year when it closed down, and now I'm here. I was in the ensemble, and I played the rock and roll boyfriend. I really, really enjoy this show because I think that despite the music being from the 2000s and stuff, I think that the term of American Idiot can translate so well to, although they were kind of like about Bush and all that stuff going on back then in 2004 when the album came out, I think it translates so well today with the other political things that we're going through and just the fact of us always being on our phones and trapped into the digital hysteria and all that stuff that we talk about. So I think that it really does translate to any other kind of time period that it wants to, all while staying in that time period of the 2000s rock punk era. So,
well, I loved you guys' performance. Even the ensemble, I thought you guys did a fantastic job.
Thank you so much. It's a very, very fun show to do, and it moves quick, and it's done before you know it. So,
considering you guys had so few lines, I mean, granted, you guys sang and all, but you guys put so much into it. You guys, you know, it was like you invested so much of your life in that moment.
Absolutely. I think that one thing that was really nice is we had a really great team, like Brian Kite, and we had our choreographers and our music director had such a clear vision of what they wanted, and they didn't let us be lazy. lazy about it. So it was just like, who are you in this moment? Who are you in this song? What are you trying to convey? There was never a time that you were able to be lazy about it. So that was one thing that I really appreciate about our team that brought out of us. So, and I'm glad that it came through. So thank you very much.
Once again, love your performance. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it, man.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Jackson Hinden. I'm a native New Yorker, went to LaGuardia High School, the Fame School, and then I went to UCLA Theater School, and now I'm out here and stuck out here in Los Angeles, and I love it out here. Doing a show that has meant so much to me, and I love that I'm finally doing it, and here I am. I think American Idiot is one of the most relevant productions that someone could do at this time and age of all of our lives right now. For me, as a 22-year-old, I think that it is just such a beautiful show that really gets underneath my skin and moves me in ways that not many shows actually do to me. And this is the epitome of why I love to act, is because a show like this that really gets underneath my skin and touches on places that are sensitive for me as a masculine human being who likes to sort of put his feelings and sentimental side to the side, and I love it. It's the music is beautiful. I grew up on this kind of stuff, and to sort of do this as like a young adult is just means the world to me.
So what is rock and roll to you?
I think it's growing up. I think that we all grow up with some sort of sense of discomfort, and I think that rock is the type of thing that you can sort of just let loose and sort of, instead of holding it all inside, it's your time to just let loose and do whatever you always wanted to do. And that's been, for me, listening to rock and roll and doing a show like this where I can sort of just let go and do whatever and not be in my head about it. That's what rock and roll is for me. It isn't about sex, drugs, and rock and roll, but it's more about the way it makes you move and get out of your head and that kind of stuff. And so I love it.
Well, I love your performance. I thought you guys were fantastic. Even the ensemble. You guys put so much into every individual character.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. As an ensemble character, I never want to be I never want to fit sort of this mold. I want to sort of stand out in this, and that's what's so unique about this ensemble, is that every individual has their own individual sort of being and sensibility, and it's great. And so yeah. Thank you.
Well, once again, I love the performance. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. I'm here with
Christopher Marcos, Asian American artist. Grew up in Monterey, California. Out here in LA for 5 years. I've been seen in Breaking Through, the world premiere musical at Pasadena Playhouse, Graffiti Pete in the Heights, the regional premiere, and Vox Lumiere's Phantom of the Opera. American Idiot is a journey through the adolescent struggle of being just in life. Just the question of, this can't be it for me, and it's just a beautiful story that different audiences should know about, and it's a great way to connect to adolescents today.
I just couldn't help but see that every person in the ensemble just grasps their role, lived for it in the moment. It's like, he personalized.
Definitely. The lyrics in the Green Day songs are just so deep and so amazing that you can't not connect to the lyrics and the words and just feel every single word and note that you're singing.
Well, I love your performance. I love the performance of the entire ensemble. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Green Day's American Idiot will be playing at the La Mirada Theater for the Performing Arts from April 29th to May 15th. For more information, go to www.lamiradatheater.com.